Okay, what's one daily habit everyone should adopt to live more peacefully?
I'd suggest a digital sunset. Just pick a time, maybe an hour before bed, where you put the phone away and stop checking messages. Creates a clear boundary between the noise of the world and your own peace, letting your brain actually wind down instead of staying wired.
What message would you give to someone who feels overwhelmed every day?
I'd tell them that it's okay to not have it all figured out right now. When everything feels like a mountain, you don't have to climb the whole thing in one go. Just focus on the next 5 minutes. Sometimes the most productive thing you can possibly do is give yourself permission to just breathe and admit that you're overwhelmed. You aren't failing because you're struggling. You're just human, and it's okay to slow down until the world stops spinning so fast.
Okay, how can we remind ourselves to slow down in a busy world?
I love the idea of using physical anchors, like putting a small sticky note on your monitor or wearing a specific ring, something that catches your eye and reminds you to take one deep breath. It's a tiny signal that tells your brain, hey, you're still in charge. You don't have to let the chaos drive.
Okay, if you could summarize Take It Easy in one sentence, what would it be and why?
I'd summarize it as intentional stillness. I'd go with that because taking it easy isn't about the absence of work or goals, it's about the presence of intention. It's the active choice to step out of the race for a moment so you can actually remember why you're running in the first place. Without that stillness, we're just reacting to the world instead of living in it.
Okay, can slowing down help us make better decisions?
It absolutely can. When you're rushed, your brain relies on shortcuts and panic, which is usually when you make those impulsive mistakes. Slowing down gives you the space to actually weigh your options and think through the consequences instead of just reacting to the pressure.
Is taking life easy a skill that can be learned?
It's like any other skill. You aren't just born with a relaxed setting. Most of us have to actively unlearn the habit of rushing and the guilt that comes with it. It takes practice to recognize the moment you're starting to spiral and having the discipline to actually choose to slow down.
Okay, does peace come from our surroundings or from within?
I'm not sure I follow. Could you tell me a bit more about what you mean by that?
Okay, just leave it. How do
It's
we
been
know?
great.
How do we know
I
when
think
we
it went
need
real.
to slow down?
Usually, your body tells you before your mind does. You'll notice things like a tight chest, a shorter temper than usual, or that feeling where you're staring at a screen but not actually processing anything. When you start feeling like you're fighting against the day instead of flowing with it, that's the signal to hit the brakes.
Hmm. What does inner peace
Notice
mean to
things.
you?
To me, inner peace is like having a quiet room inside your head that you can go to no matter how loud the world is outside. It's not about the absence of problems or stress, but the confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way without losing your center. It's that feeling of being completely okay with where you are in this exact moment.
How important is time management in reducing stress?
It's a huge piece of the puzzle, but I think people often get it wrong. They use time management to try and cram even more into their day, which actually just increases the stress. The real magic happens when you use it to protect your peace, scheduling in the do nothing time so it's a non negotiable part of your day.
How does constant phone use affect our peace of mind?
I'm a bit confused on that one. Are you asking about how the city of Constantinople viewed peace in a historical sense, or is this part of a different topic?
Can music improve our mood?
Absolutely. When you intentionally slow down and let the pressure drop, your brain stops producing as much cortisol, the stress hormone, and starts letting in more of the good stuff, like serotonin. It's like clearing the fog. Suddenly, you have the mental space to actually feel the positive things around you instead of just surviving the day.
Does nature help people relax?
It really does. There's something about the lack of urgency in nature that forces you to match its pace, whether it's the way trees just exist or the sound of water. It reminds you that the world keeps turning, even when you aren't rushing to keep up with it.
Okay. What role does
I really
exercise play in reducing stress?
exercise is like a release valve for all that built up tension. Moves the stress out of your head and into your muscles, which physically burns off the cortisol and replaces it with endorphins. It's basically a way to tell your body we've dealt with the threat so you can actually relax afterward.
What quote inspires you to stay calm?
For me, it's the idea of perspective, the realization that most of the things we stress about today won't even be a memory in 5 years. That kind of big picture thinking makes it a lot easier to just let go and stay steady when things get chaotic.
Okay. What's one life lesson everyone should remember?
If I had to pick one, it would be this: your worth isn't measured by your productivity. We spend so much time worrying about the finish line that we forget the point of the race is actually to live. Remembering that you are allowed to just be without achieving something or fixing something is the most freeing lesson there is.
What does take it easy truly mean in today's fast moving world?
In a world that's moving at 100 miles an hour, take it easy is basically an act of rebellion. It's the decision to stop treating your life like a checklist and start treating it like an experience. It's about finding those small pockets of stillness, like a slow morning or a quiet walk, and realizing that you don't have to keep up with everyone else's pace to be successful or happy.
Mm, Why do people fear slowing down?
I think you mean slowing down again. We probably do it because deep down, we know we can't keep going at full speed forever. It's a survival instinct. Our minds and bodies eventually demand that we pause so we don't, completely crash.
Okay, Maya, thank you so much for giving your time. See you soon. Bye.
You're so welcome. I really loved this conversation. I'll be right here whenever you're ready for the next one. See you soon. Bye.